2, 1.
Boom!
I think I screwed up again.
I forgot what I was going to say, too. We can start over?
No.
All right.
Just keep going.
3, 2, 1, boom. Welcome to the Big Honker Podcast. This is Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver. And this is Did You Know?
My bad, people.
Brought to you by Mallard Bay. Check out Mallard Bay for any hunting or fishing trip you're interested in. They can take care of you. That's mallardbay.com. White was hunted with us last week. Great dude, good people. Love his parents. He's just a good all-around guy.
Loves his parents.
Okay, I'm going to start us out. Did you
Go
know
ahead.
this week? Okay. First thing I'm going to talk about is Black Friday. Did you know Black Friday is the busiest day of the year for plumbers?
Because of the influx of people into the department stores dropping those big old deuces from Thanksgiving Day?
No, I think it's from all the deuces blowing up grandma's toilets.
Oh,
It's
just at the house?
Busiest day in the year. They clean up after guests if it overwhelmed the system. Holiday shoppers indirectly determine the day of Thanksgiving. Did you know that?
Say that again?
Thanksgiving Day has been changed by shoppers. Now, I'm going to explain to you.
Okay.
In the mid-19th, the early 20th century, the U.S. president would declare a day of giving thanks on the last Thursday in November. In 1939, when the last Thursday was the last day of the month, retailers were afraid that the holiday season would be shortened and therefore petitioned the president to declare the holiday be held 1 week earlier. In 1941, Congress created a joint resolution to clear things up. After that, Thanksgiving was always celebrated on the fourth Thursday in November, which gave shoppers one extra week to shop for Christmas. Black Friday was once called Big Friday. According to a 75 report from the New York Times, the term Black Friday is Philadelphia slang. This is because the police had become frustrated with the traffic congestion caused by shoppers on the day, and the retailers weren't happy to be associated with traffic and smog. So in 1961, one newspaper tried to rename the day Big Friday, but as you already knew, the term didn't stick around long, so it's Black Friday. Black Friday used to not be the busiest shopping day of the year until 2001. That changed it. There's 15 countries have Black Friday.
Should it really be called Black Friday anymore? We're 2024.
Yes, it still should be called Black Friday.
Okay.
In 2011, guess who broke the tradition of Black Friday and started having people shop on Thursdays?
Macy's.
Walmart.
Damn it.
They was the one that changed it. These days, 33 million Americans plan to begin shopping as soon as they finish their Thanksgiving feast. This is known as Gray Thursday.
Gray Thursday.
What do you think the percentage of Black Friday shoppers are who are drunk?
60%.
No, not 12%, which I thought was still absolutely crazy. Okay, now I want to talk about a few other things. Okay, let's go to the best-selling Christmas toys of all time in the history of the world.
Okay.
What do you think the number one?
Teddy Ruxpin.
No, we're gonna start at the bottom because it'll be easier. Actually, no. The 10th most.
Like ever? Okay.
Ever.
Game Boy is on there.
No, hold. Okay, what'd you say?
Game Boy and Teddy Ruxpin.
Okay, those are your two picks out of the top 10.
And then I'm also gonna go a Wii, Nintendo Wii. iPods.
Okay.
Is that 4 or 5?
That's 5, but go ahead.
I'll just do 5. I'll stop at 5.
Okay, well, you got 2 right.
Okay.
Not a 5. The 10th best toy. I want to make sure I got this right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Number 10, greatest top 10 toys of all times. Number 10 is Legos.
Okay, makes sense.
1932.
Do you know they were almost broke before they rebranded?
Did not know that.
They were. That can be. I'll do a Did You Know on that next week.
Okay, but Legos 1932. Rubik's Cube. Number 9.
Makes sense.
1974. I don't remember it 1974. I don't remember until around 1980.
I remember.
But it was in 1974. Barbie dolls. 1958.
Yeah.
Game Boy.
Okay, that was one of mine.
Yep. 1982 Cabbage Patch Kids.
That kind of goes with my Teddy Ruxpin idea.
Yeah, they're closely associated. Next was the Furby. I don't even remember what a Furby was.
Yeah, I remember those.
That was 1998. You were 1.
No, I was not. I was 10. I was 11.
Oh, yeah, you damn sure were. That's right. I've got my years. Everything getting old now. Hot Wheels was next.
Makes sense.
The next one is a thing called Tamagotchi.
Don't know what those are.
A handheld digital pet. 1997.
Maybe I remember those.
1997. 1995, Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, okay.
And that is the number one toy of all time was the Buzz Lightyear toy.
No Nintendo Wii on there.
Nope.
Wow, that's
No,
shocking.
that was
No
on there at all.
iPod?
No iPod.
Everybody wanted an iPod.
Well, I'm telling you, I don't know if they consider that a toy.
Huh.
Okay, we're going to finish it up. This Thanksgiving is coming up this week. So let's talk about the most popular pies of all time. What do you think the most popular pie of all time would be?
Pumpkin.
No, it's not.
Okay. Pecan? Pecan?
Nope. The number one pie of all times for Thanksgiving dinner is apple pie.
I've never had an apple pie on Thanksgiving.
I never have. Yeah, I have too. Your grandmother, Michelle, my mother-in-law, makes apple pie. They're really pretty good. So I have had it because she makes it. And that's probably one of my favorites anyways. Apple pie is number one. Pumpkin pie is number two. Pecan pie, as we call it in the South, not pecan pie, is three.
Pecan.
Chocolate cream pie is four. And coconut cream pie is five.
Not had any of those except for pumpkin and pecan. Call me old-fashioned.
You haven't had chocolate pie?
Not on Thanksgiving.
Andy,
Pecan and pumpkin.
You're so full of crap.
No.
We have chocolate pie at our house every year, and that sucker goes fast.
Well, that's because I never get any.
Okay, well, that's my Did You Knows. For Thanksgiving, you have a happy Thanksgiving, and we appreciate you very much for listening to us. So here's Andy with his Did You Know.
Okay, my
Probably
Did You
some
Know.
wild, morbid thing coming up here.
One of them is pretty kind of morbid, but
knew it
not
would
too
be.
morbid. So I'll start with my little short one. Did you know that there has been a rapid decline in the number of serial killers in the United States?
About 5 minutes we had done.
We
It's
topped
been in 5 minutes.
we topped out in the 80s
With serial killers?
with serial killers. I'll show you the graph right there. There are the serial killers. You can tell in the 50s, it little uptick, 60s bigger, 60 to 70 was huge.
LSD.
And then 70 to 80, and then right around 1980, it starts to go the other way. So there are some theories as to what this could be.
Drugs.
No. So let me get through this. So one of the theories is nobody hitchhikes anymore. That if you look at a lot of the victims of serial killers, they were hitchhikers. People in distress. Everybody has a cell phone now, so if they get into a kind of a shady situation, they always have a way out.
So lack of communication.
Lack of communication back in the day. This said nearly 770 serial killers operated in the United States through the 1980s and just under 670s in the 90s, based on the data compiled. Put this another way, 189 people in the United States died by the hands of a serial killer in 1987, compared to just 30 in 2015. Forensics data has come a long way, so I think we catch a lot of people kind
Quicker.
of earlier into their onslaught or whatever. So anyway, you really don't have to worry about being killed by a serial killer anymore. It's 30, and that was in 2015, so that was almost 10 years ago now.
That's crazy.
Okay, so today marks the 51st anniversary of the JFK assassination.
That's right.
So here are some things you might not have known about the JFK assassination. Let's see. Jacqueline Kennedy rarely traveled with her husband on political trips, but she decided last minute to fly with her husband to Texas on November 21st. He was only in Texas for 1 hour before, or he was only in DFW but for 1 hour.
Yeah, he'd been in Fort Worth the night before.
Before being shot. Let me see this article right here. This one is the one I'm looking for. Thought I had it pulled up, but I didn't. I thought I had it. Yeah. So he was in Dallas just 1 hour before he was assassinated. His body was left. His body left Dallas, flew back to D.C. just over 3 hours after the time he landed in Dallas that morning. They asked Mrs. Kennedy if she wanted to take off her dress. She said, no, that's all right. I want them to see what they have done to Jack. That is now in the National Archives Museum. It has never been washed, and it will be out of the public view until 2103. So if you're hoping to see her famous pink dress, you're never going to see it. Did you know the limousine that he was assassinated in was refurbished and put back into circulation?
No.
So they just cleaned up the brain matter and other...
Can I interject something right there?
Yeah.
Is that all you're going to say about the car? Or do you have more about it? So?
No, what else you got?
It had been raining that morning,
Right.
And they said if it had continued to rain, they wouldn't have. He had the roof on it.
So that was one of the things the mayor of Dallas actually pushed for him to take that off.
To take the roof off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I did not know that.
They said he was a strong proponent of him removing the lid to the limousine. Clint Hill lived the rest of his life with regret. He feels like he could have done more that day. Don't know if that's true or not.
You read his book? It's a great book.
So he was actually not dead when he got to the hospital. What's the name of the hospital?
Parkland Hospital.
He was in a state of dying. He still had some. He was
brain dead,
like a fish out of water. He was not dead yet. Yeah, there it is. Moribund is not morbid, but moribund means a state of dying. According to the Warren Commission, they said Harvey Oswald acted alone, which you can say what you want about that. Let me see here. What else have I got? The Zapruder film was actually kept out of the public view for almost 10 years before they let that out there. Oswald was killed 2 days later. He was the first person to be killed on live national television. They couldn't figure out what Jack Ruby's motives were.
I can tell you.
He later died, whatever. So
the mob a bunch of money.
So that was another thing that's kind of interesting. If you watch Lee Harvey Oswald get shot by Jack Ruby, the guy that was leading Lee Harvey Oswald speeds up at the last minute and creates a gap between him and the prisoner he's supposed to be protecting. He's supposed to be kind of at his back. The guy that's leading him out gets several feet in front of him. Jack Ruby comes up behind and shoots him. So did you know there were actually 2 people that died that day on the day of the assassination?
A cop did, too.
Yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald shot J.D. Tippit 3 times in the chest and once in the temple.
I think in South Oak Cliff neighborhood.
45 minutes after shooting the president. Now let me go over to here. I don't know if there's anything worth reading in here, but a lot of conspiracies around the JFK was only the 4th president to be assassinated. And then there's a lot of parallels between him and Lincoln. I think everything that happened to Lincoln was like 100 years prior to what happened with Jack. Both presidents that filled in for them had the last name Johnson. So those are some similarities. That's really all I got. The murder weapon was a 6.5 millimeter Italian carbine rifle that Oswald had bought for $19.95. So
do you think the same people?
Zapruder sold his film for $150K to Life magazine.
Do you think the same people that shot JFK were trying to do Trump too?
I don't know.
I do.
I don't know. So I actually read about some of the conspiracies surrounding this, and one of them does have to do with aliens. So you were ahead of the curve on that. I kind of laughed at you whenever you mentioned that, but one of the wilder conspiracies is about aliens and kind of
that's when all the technology
the deal that we have with them.
Yep, that's when that all took off too.
That's really all I got. Just a lot of weird things.
I started to do it, did you know, on that.
On JFK?
No, on alien stuff. There was an alien crash in Aurora, Texas.
Oh, really?
Aurora, Texas, right outside of Fort Worth. And the guy supposedly buried everything in a water well and just sealed it up because they opened it up one time and some guys drank and they said everybody got sick and almost died from it years later. And then they capped it off and stuff. But it seems to me that if there was a capped off water well somewhere that's on record show where it's at somewhere in North Texas, you'd think the government would have dug it up by now if it's true.
It's not the 51st. It happened in 63.
Yes.
So I said 51st.
Oh, no, it would have been the 61st.
61st.
Yeah.
Did you know it was not a federal crime to assassinate a president, and that's why no criminal case was ever formed out of this? After JFK was assassinated, it then became a federal crime. So that's why they never had like a traditional court case on it.
I mean, you can't arrest yourself.
Well,
federal government can't do it to themselves.
Right. So, anyway, a lot of weird things that have come out of that. But anyway,
All right.
JFK, 61 years ago, and we still don't know.
No,
Might never know.
We know.
Might never know. Hopefully that's day one, something Trump does.
I hope so. All right. Thank y'all for listening to us. Have a great Turkey Day. God bless you. Peace.
Love you. Bye.
Watch for deer.